Napoleon Bonaparte. The name strikes fear into the hearts of historians and generals alike. He conquered Italy, he crushed the Austrian Empire, he destroyed the Russian army. He was the god of war. But in the summer of 1807, he suffered a defeat so humiliating that his propaganda machine tried to erase it from history. He wasn't defeated by a clever general or a new weapon. He was forced to surrender to a horde of 3,000 hungry bunnies. To understand this disaster, we have to look at the context. It was July 1807. Napoleon had just signed the Treaty of Tilsit. He was at the absolute peak of his power. He had basically forced the Russian emperor into a bromance and redrew the map of Europe. To celebrate this massive diplomatic win, he decided to host the ultimate imperial party, a massive rabbit hunt for his generals and the court. He delegated the logistics to his chief of staff, Alexandre Berthier. Berthier was a great map reader, but he was a terrible event planner. He had a problem. Finding wild hares in the woods takes time and effort. Berthier was lazy. He thought, why catch wild animals when I can just buy them? So he went to local farmers and bought 3,000 domesticated tame rabbits. This was the critical mistake. You see, there is a big psychological difference between a wild hare and a farm rabbit. A wild hare sees a human with a gun and thinks, predator, run. A farm rabbit sees a human and thinks, the waiter's here with lunch. Berthier hadn't prepared a hunt, he had prepared a buffet. The day of the hunt arrived. The cages were placed along the edges of a grassy field. Napoleon and his top generals stood in the middle, muskets ready, expecting the game to scatter. The signal was given. The cages opened, but instead of running away, 3,000 rabbits turned, looked at the emperor, and charged. At first, the generals laughed. It looked funny. But the laughter stopped when the rabbits hit the line. They swarmed Napoleon's legs, they climbed his jacket, they started chewing on his gold buttons because they thought they were food. The emperor tried to shoo them away. The generals used riding crops. But the rabbits were relentless. They executed a perfect pincer movement, surrounding the most powerful man in Europe. It was total chaos. The old guard, soldiers who had faced cannon fire without blinking, were breaking formation. Napoleon, realizing he was losing the battle, ordered a tactical retreat. He ran to his imperial carriage. He slammed the door shut. But the rabbits didn't stop. According to witnesses, some rabbits actually leapt into the carriage window before it sped away. Imagine the scene inside that carriage as they drove back to Paris. The conqueror of Europe, sitting in silence, picking white fur off his uniform. Berthier probably sat opposite him, trying to make himself look very, very small. Napoleon threw the rabbit out the window, but the damage to his ego was permanent. Historians focus on Waterloo or the Russian winter as Napoleon's great defeats. But let's be honest, those were formidable enemies. This was livestock. It remains a reminder that even if you can rewrite the map of the world, you are still no match for 3,000 hungry pets who think you are a giant vegetable.